Meditations for Husbands. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25. I love my wife, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 28. I love my wife as my own body. When I love my wife, I love myself. I love my wife as myself. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. I dwell with my wife with understanding, being thoughtful and aware of her needs. I give honor unto my wife as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, so that my prayers are not hindered. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 9. I live joyfully with my wife, whom I love in all the days of my life. My wife, whom the Lord has given me, is my best reward down here for all my earthly toils. Proverbs chapter 5 verse 18 and 19. I rejoice with my wife of my youth. She is a loving deer and a graceful doe. I let her breast satisfy me at all times, and I'm always enraptured with her love. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 22. I found my wife, and I found a good thing. I have obtained favor of the Lord. My wife is a blessing to me from the Lord. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 14. I have a prudent wife from the Lord. I have an understanding wife from the Lord. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 3 and 4. I render unto my wife the affection due to her. The wife does not have authority over her body, but the husband. And likewise, also the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife. I give to my wife all that are her rights as a married woman. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 5. I do not deprive my wife of her rights, except it be with consent for a time, and I and my wife may give ourselves to prayer and fasting, and come together again, so that Satan does not tempt me for my lack of self-control. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 14. I am a believer in Christ, and my wife and children are sanctified by me. Matthew chapter 19 verse 6. What God has joined together, no one must put asunder. God has joined my wife and I together, and I let no one put this union asunder. Proverbs chapter 31 verse 10 to 31. I have a virtuous wife, and her price is far above rubies. My heart safely trusts in her, and she satisfies all my needs. She does me good all the days of my life. She works willingly with her hands. She rises up early and ministers to the whole household. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She is energetic and hard-working. She is a woman who who fears the Lord. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 4. My virtuous wife is my crown. This is the end of Meditations for Husbands.